Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Let's back it up a little bit here. All right. All right. Uh, if you come on, go ahead and start inviting people in. All right. We're going to start in just a few minutes. All right. In just a few minutes. Hmm.
Oh, there.
No.
Nice.
What I do is, because it's going to record it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just,
So it's recording it now.
mm-hmm, it's live and recording. All right. Here we go. Here we go. So if you're watching right now, welcome to the sneak peek of how real money works. Again, presented to you by Derilus TV. And this is our third installment of Derilus TV. Of course, if you've been following, then you know on Mondays we have Joe's Real Estate Show, which will begin again. It's all been a really a process, just building momentum, figuring things out, figuring out different systems and different software that works or that doesn't work, finding the sweet spot for spectrum connection around the city.
That's right.
um, and we are pretty much just a couple of days away from the entire channel being broadcasted on a weekly basis. So as you can see on the graphic, it's on Mondays we have the real estate show at 12 p.m., 12 noon. All right. On Wednesday night we have the relationship goals. That's with my wife, with myself and my wife, and of course on Fridays 6 p.m. we will have How Real Money Works with Joe and John. So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. Of course, you guys know me. I am Joe Derilus, and this is my partner, my friend, John.
Good evening. How you doing? Good to have everyone on tonight.
Yes. So, how real money works. All right. Again, we know all of the stuff that's out there. We know there is a lot of different, I would say, a lot of confusion out there in the world of social media today. There's a lot of pretension. There's a lot of fakery, you could say, out there, right? And also because of the internet, you have a lot of information that's available and a lot of misinformation and a lot of bad information that's out there. So our goal with this show on a weekly basis is to really share with you the real stuff, the real truth. All right, not alternative truth,
That's right.
not alternative facts, but the real facts. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna share with you different things, different lessons, different tips. John here. I mean, go ahead, John. You can tell me a little bit about yourself and why who you are.
Well, I mean, I think basic is we've all been taught pretty much the same concepts in this world today. Is in order to be successful, you got to do a couple things to be successful. You got to go to school, right? You've heard that before, Joe.
Right.
Got to go to school, get good grades, then you go out and get a good job. Well, as we think about that in today's society, that's the premise that we all live under is
Right.
follow the same rules and you'll be successful. You'll make enough money. But the problem is not about how much money you make in this world. It's actually how much you save.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about income and how we become successful is we got to figure out is what is the right way that works for us, because not everyone is the same
Right.
mentality.
Right.
And which is the good thing about having the freedom to even do a show like this is to is to broadcast your information out there. And that's why we're so excited about talking about income and how real money works, how to really make it, but also how to take care of it,
Right.
how to take care of it for us, but also how to take care of it for our family, how to protect it, how to take care of it for our children, how to even retire our children. These are concepts that we never learned while we're in school. You know, I mean, if we were taught this stuff in school, I mean, think about it, we live in the wealthiest country in the world, and most people in America are middle class.
Yep.
Or even touching the borderline of middle class poor. And who likes that title?
Nobody.
I know I don't like that title at all. That's why
nobody wants to be there.
Right.
Nobody wants to be in that. But the reality is the majority, and it's not. Majority is sometimes could be like just 51% of something, right?
Mm-hmm,
that's your majority. But when you're talking about 90+%, that's the vast majority of us are in that class, and it's not the place where we need to be, especially being in this country, right?
Right.
So let's go ahead and tell us. We're gonna tell you guys a little bit more about us and why we're doing this, and who we are. If you didn't know, again, I'm Joe Derilus. I am the founder and CEO of the Foundation Method. I am also a regional director in our company, New Power Generation. I am also a licensed real estate agent. All right, I'm a licensed real estate agent with ALR, Legacy Realty, and I love to talk about, all these things. I love to talk about God. I love to talk about faith. I love to talk about family, fitness, and of course finance. And that was one of my one of the reasons for me of even starting this channel, Derilus TV, is to be able to share some of these things and to be able to teach, what I've learned, what I've gone through, and a lot of it came from this guy. That he's taught me a lot of, especially when it comes to money and finances. And of course, John, you can tell him.
Well, as it says, I'm a national vice president at NPG, which stands for New Power Generation, and with over 14 and a half years of experience in the industry. Yes, I do service a lot of people, and I work with a lot of people. And I don't call them clients. You see us as clients there; those are actually my friends. And we even put on their PGAM, and I appreciate that. I love to play golf. And, that's, I think, when you're doing something that you love to do, you meet a lot of people talking about things that you love to talk about, and finance is something I love to talk about, because I think that the challenge that we have in the world today is that if we don't have the education, in fact, in our Bible, it says the reason why people perish is because they have lack of knowledge. It's not because they don't know about the faith. It's because no one else tells them about anything that's going on that's important in their life.
Right.
So that's why I think that this is a very vital thing in helping people with finance, as well as Joe helps with fitness and faith as well.
Right. All right. That's kind of who we are. That's the nutshell. So, we're not just coming on here and just really just sharing our opinions. Some of it is our opinions, but there are opinions that come from experience. There are opinions that comes from knowledge. So just kind of be confident and be assured that the information you're getting, again, it's the real deal stuff. All right, it's the real deal. And again, now one thing about John is no fluff. All right, and y'all know I'm the same way. No fluff. Is straight up. We're gonna tell you the truth, whether you like it or not, whether it makes you feel good or not. But if it's going to make you better, it's going to better your life and bring value to your life, we're definitely going to share it with you. All right. So, as to why, really why now, why we're doing this, again, we're in the United States of America. In the United States of America. And we have all these issues. And at the foundation of these issues is money. All right, lack of it, of course, mismanagement of it, not knowing enough about it, and it's a problem. And we're hoping to do a little bit about that problem, about the issue. Hopefully, over the next few weeks, and we can really share and change the dynamics and change the statistics of our community. We're right here in Central Florida, and we're looking to make some change.
Absolutely. I think that's important. And the good thing about when you're talking about change is you want everyone to be successful in everything they do, whether it's finance or whether it's a certain career job. And sometimes not everyone is cut out to be financially successful,
Right.
because all the knowledge that we have. However, that opportunity can present itself to be a positive thing when they learn about how to properly do it. We talk about the wealthiest country in the world. I mean, we go to college to become better.
Right.
I mean, my son's fixing to go away to college to become better, and I'm supporting that because I believe that the only way to become successful in today's society is, unfortunately, to have a degree that can give you employment.
Right.
Now, sometimes that degree comes at a high what? Price tag.
High cost.
So, the reality is that does everybody want to pay that money? Of course not. But if we could have saved up for those things, we could have been better off.
Right.
And when we talk about income, and we think about there's a cycle in this world where we have to follow in order to become successful.
Mm-hmm.
Why is now an important time in our life? Because think about it, the way to become a doctor, you just can't become a doctor out of high school. You have to go through a certain amount of education.
Yeah.
Well, I think 10 years or something, right?
A lot of school.
And sometimes there might even be some doctors listening to what we're talking about, which is a great thing.
Right.
So, I mean, and we're going to cover some information that's going to kind of give you an idea about how it is to be successful and how to become better financially, but also how to prepare your children.
Yes.
And that's what gets me excited, because things that I didn't learn about when I was a kid, I was able to impress my son and also to talk to Joe and his wife about their children. We can change generations' lives forever. Yeah. And I think that most people will be listening to us on Derilus TV will have some kind of commonalities. Children, which would be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Wanting to be successful, another one. Wanting to get a good education.
Right. Wanting to leave some sort of a legacy, just beyond just you, that,
absolutely.
There's another generation that's coming after you, and you want to make sure that you do your part to just set them up the right way.
Right.
So some of the topics we'll be talking about is I would say on a regular basis is going to be this. It's going to be mainly income, income, how to generate income, how to increase income, how to create it, anything about income. And generating income, we're definitely going to be talking about that. And of course, once you get the income, now is what do you do with it? All right, you have to learn how to set a budget for that income. It's coming in, then you need to know where it's going to go and how you what it's going to do. And of course, once you've set a budget, now you need to figure out a way to protect that income. Because we know at any time anything can happen. So tomorrow is not promised to any one of us. So when we have that income, it's coming in, it's taking care of different things, then we need to make sure we protect those things. We protect the income or the liability that may present in our lives. And of course, now investment is huge, and John could talk more about the whole investment part and why it's so important.
Well, I think it's important to do that. I think it's great that actually put that back up on your screen, John. I want to talk about that. If you see those topics, those 6 bubbles, the last one is Q&A because we're going to talk about that in a minute. But if you think about those 5 important things, most people in today's society, unfortunately, they focus on the first one. They focus on income. Hey, I got to go to work. I got to pay my bills. And what they're not really thinking of is today is here, but tomorrow is not promised. But also we have to prepare for tomorrow.
Right.
I mean, if you think about the income side, I mean, how many ways are there to make money?
There's
we call it the income trinity, right? We call it the income trinity, which is great. We're going to cover that a little more, but I'll just graze on it and talk about you got the employee, which is the one that does go to work, right? Has a job. And there's nothing wrong with those kind of individuals. Those people are very important to us because why? There's most of those people, and we need to help those people get out of being an employee because sometimes they want to become a business owner, but they don't know how to do it.
Right.
That's the bigger challenge is, hey, I've talked to several people. In fact, a lot of my friends, they'd love to own their own business, but they don't know how to get started because they have no one trying to help them to get started.
Right.
But they have to remember is that job is the vehicle to start that self-employment business. Mm-hmm. You don't want to ever leave that job to go out and get that business. You have to do it in transition. Mm-hmm. So it's called a spare tire.
Right.
And then you go on to become an investor where you have money working for you. You have that business that runs whether or not you're there. But as you're leading into those income opportunities, you have to prepare a budget because sometimes we as individuals, Joe, we live on what we want, not what we really need.
Right.
See how we both said it? What's so funny is we said it at the same time. And hopefully you caught that because
we're probably not the only ones. I'm pretty sure a couple of you that's watching, you would probably finish that same sentence because we know what we need to do,
right?
But we don't always do it, right?
Yeah,
we know what's the best thing to do, but sometimes are the things that we want, they're more attractive than the things that we need. Right. So we just go with what we want at the time.
Right.
So definitely that's the struggle, and those are things that we'll be talking about more in the future. Is how to necessarily be focused on those things, how to keep that stuff in the front of your mind, how to stay consistent in following that plan or that budget that you have. And something else that you mentioned earlier, John, was the whole thing about the job. Nowadays there's this really obsession about entrepreneurship. Everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. Everyone wants to start their own business. And while that's great, but as John was saying, you can't necessarily forget that, the job may be the vehicle to help you do that.
Absolutely.
It may be the vehicle to help you do that. So you can't neglect the job. You can't just stop the job or quit the job without having a plan and without necessarily being ready and ready in all ways, whether it's just knowledge based, having the knowledge in the business that you want to start, you want to open, or having the funds to operate your business and just having the experience. So the job, and I know sometimes, people will break it down as, was it just over broke?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there are good paying jobs out there,
Yeah.
So we're not here to just all dismiss, we're not here to dismiss the whole job. We just want to educate you on what's available.
Yeah.
All right. Again, we're talking about a trio of income generating opportunities, a trio or income I can't speak. We're talking about different vehicles, pretty much, to generate income. So we're not saying that everyone should quit their jobs.
Please don't.
And we're not saying that you need to stay at your job either.
Well, I think to piggyback on that, what's so good about having a job and then also pursuing a self-employment business opportunity is that it's going to take some time. I'm thinking about Walmart. Right. Do you think Walmart opened up overnight? There was probably months, maybe even years of preparation before the business became open. Well, same thing with Joe as in the real estate business. Same thing with me in the financial business. I was also working a job. So in the process of transitioning into a job or a business owner, you develop what is called expenses, which then allow you, and a lot of times people don't even understand this, but you can actually create expenses which then lower your tax liability. Right. So you increase your taxable refund by who? The government. Right. Yep. So then you actually can use that money to do what? Start your business. Right. Wasn't that a win-win situation for everybody?
Yep.
And you didn't cheat the government. They created a legal way that you can start your own business if that's something you desire. Now understand, not everyone should start a business.
Right.
Because a business does take a lot of responsibilities that we don't actually get in school.
No.
They don't teach us that in school.
No.
Because if they taught us that, most people would never go to work for somebody. They would realize that in high school, hey, I'm going to go start this kind of business. Mm-hmm. And one kind of, business that we always tell people to start is make sure you're starting a business that people will always need. Yep. And, not just something that, hey, I want to go out and sell widgets. Well, I mean, a widget could last for a while. Think about the pet rock. You ever heard of the pet rock?
No.
Oh my gosh, the pet rock, right? The pet rock was something around 20 years ago. Now maybe y'all never heard about the pet rock, but this kind of shows my age, all right? I don't know
about the chia pet or something.
Yeah, chia pet, right? The pet rock. The owner of the pet rock lives in Owlsworth, and he has $1 million home. His business is worth $10 million.
Wow.
It was a rock that they found in the ocean.
Wow.
Crazy, right? Right? I mean, but that was that. Sometimes they needed that, but is that a need now? A chia pet, right? And that's something. Right? Thank you so much, Elizabeth. We appreciate that. But it's so funny is that there is an opportunity out there for everybody if you have the desire to make it work.
Right.
And that's the same thing with finances. If you want to become financially independent or financially educated, you have to put some time into it.
Right.
Because think about it, it didn't take 30 years for our life to get screwed up, and it can't take 30 minutes to fix the problem. It's going to take some time.
It's going to take some time,
and also we have to pay a lot of we call attention.
Yep.
Right? Because paying attention to your money is more important than someone else paying attention to your money. Because the people that pay attention to your money now, they may not take care of it the way you would take care of it. That's the great thing about having knowledge with finances, but also in every area, is that we then learn how to take care of a budget. See, the budget is so important that sometimes we don't live within that budget. I mean, I have to agree. I have to admit, I fall guilty of that problem too.
Yeah.
I want some things I want, right? But then I have to also rationalize and go, do I really need it? And then I tell myself I don't need it no more, so I don't buy it. But then when you make all this money or you become successful, that we're going to talk about here, not today, but we'll cover more information, is how to protect that. See, sometimes we don't get the education because we live on past education from our parents that say go buy life insurance. And we don't know even what life insurance really is, or the purpose of the life insurance is why it is there. Understand, if you're retired, you can't live on life insurance. You have to die. When you're dead, you really don't collect because you're dead.
Yeah.
So understand, life insurance only works a couple ways, and it's got to work the right way. Then investing that money when you're not really focused on dying, because we shouldn't be focused on dying unless you're old. And if you are old, you might not be at the right phone. We might be talking to the wrong kind of audience. But listen, we want to talk about how to also invest that money. Here's something I always tell people a story, is that if our parents could have known how to retire us and allow us to accumulate wealth, and this is something that Joe, I always get giddy about this, because this is a way that we can help the people we love and care about, right? Talk about retiring your kid. My son's 18 years old, and I was looking at his little bit of retirement account just recently. Yes, exactly. We focus on dying, right? So exactly, I like that. So, but I was looking at my son's retirement. My son's 18 years old. He's not going to start working until next Tuesday at Universal Studios because he's got to make some money for college. But I started a retirement plan when he was 3 years old. Now, wait, he's not working. I understand that. 3 years old means you're not working.
Right.
And I looked at his retirement account with $2,000 when I started it back when he was 3 years old. This is now 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. His $2,000 is right around $12,000. Now, he's 18 years old. He has no idea that money is even there. What's even so great is that...
he's not watching this.
Yeah, let me look at the number. No, he's not here, all right? I think he's asleep. Stay asleep, Jackson. All right, so anyway, we talk about that. And when he's 65 years old, Joe, that money that I started when he was 3 years old will be worth $2.4 million. What would life look like and
that's $2,000 that you said pretty much 15 years ago you put away.
Wait, never looked at it.
And never looked at it. You never added anything to it.
Never added a penny. Didn't care what the market did. Didn't care about nothing.
Wow.
Right? I didn't care if the market was up, down. It didn't matter because he didn't need the money now. Right. He needed it when? When he retires. Yeah. And when I'll be dying, he'll be retiring, which will be perfect system, right? Mm-hmm. So when our parents die off, the kids retire. Well, imagine that if everyone did that for their kids instead of having this great big old birthday party.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna stop him right there.
I get so excited.
I'm gonna stop him right here.
Oh man, thank you so much.
Because again, this is just a sneak peek.
Oh man,
this is a sneak peek, and you can tell, he loved talking about this. I love talking about this stuff because when you're talking about retiring your children, that is, I don't think there's anything better you can do for your family line. Right. Your generation line, your legacy. There's nothing better you can do than to retire your kids. So those are the type of things that we will be talking about on on this show, How Real Money Works. Again, that's going to be on Friday, 6 p.m. And we're also working on an entire webinar, an educational webinar for you guys to be able to just learn everything from point A to point Z. All right. Yeah. So we'll have that available in the next couple of weeks. But of course, on Fridays at 6 p.m. And the reason we chose Friday is this. Most of us get paid on Friday. We get paid on Friday. I don't know how you get paid. That's none of my business. All right.
I know we get paid. We get paid.
We get paid. We get paid on Friday. Well, not we get paid.
Oh, that's right.
The general public gets paid on Fridays.
Right.
All right. That's kind of like a commonality. And that's the day we want you to think about your money also. Okay. When you get that check, when you get that direct deposit, we need you to think about some of the things we'll be teaching about, so you can be on top of your money and be able to manage your finances much better.
And that goes into that. That would lead right back to the budget.
Right.
Because when you get paid, most people take that money and they go and spend it on stuff they really don't need.
Yeah.
Isn't that sad how that comes always back to, man, I don't really want that to come back. But if you don't save, if you don't pay yourself first,
right,
you'll never save. And
right.
somehow the people that we know that we love and care about is common. And the good thing about this is that you're probably thinking of people that you love and care about that maybe don't have the same knowledge that we should have. Hey, invite them to the call. Invite them to Derilus TV on Friday at 6
friends,
p.m.
family members on Fridays.
Absolutely.
6 p.m. We won't hold you long. Maybe we'll go about 20 or 30 minutes, depending on But again, it all depends on you. Also, if you have questions, we'll stay for as long as we can to answer your questions. But this is really about helping you guys to really, again, leave that legacy.
That's right.
And that's what this show is about, how real money works.
Yeah.
Again,
and sometimes you can't cover it all on
we
can't cover it here.
We can't cover it all on here. So if you would need our assistance, you need our help. You can reach out to us.
They can fly to our office in Puerto Rico. I'm just kidding. We're local. We're by if I reverse the computer, you'll see the Millennium Mall right out the window. So just kidding about Puerto Rico.
Maybe we'll give a tour next time of the office.
Hey, that's good. We could do a little walkthrough. We'll show them how our key actually works in the office, so you can see that we do have a physical building.
Yeah.
But we'd love to have them come here if they'd like more information outside.
Big conference from there. We can host you guys. But again, thank you guys for watching.
Yes,
we're not going to hold you guys. Let me see how long it's been. Oh, it's been almost 30 minutes. So perfect. So we're gonna end it right here. Again, this is just a sneak peek of how real money works on Fridays at 6 p.m. live right here on Facebook. Again, presented to you by Derilus TV.
Hey, before we log off, if there's anything that maybe somebody is dealing with financially that has some questions, shoot us an email or go through the Facebook that we're going to post more information.
Send me a direct message on Facebook.
Absolutely. So we can cover that at our next meeting. That way you know that it's worth your time to come
exactly.
on.
We'll come up. We'll already have answers for your questions when we come on next Friday. Okay, so again, thank you guys. Remember to share the video,
please,
and invite people on here on Friday night, 6 p.m. How Real Money Works, presented to you by Derilus TV. All right, you guys have a blessed night. It's Friday night. Go have some fun, or stay home.